everyone. I'd like to welcome you here. My name is Dana Patterson, and I am the author of The Family Harvest. And today, my friend Lizzie, who is a chef, is going to teach us how to make bread. Thank you, Lizzie, for being here.
It's my honor. Hi, I'm Lissy Kirchner, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple loaf of bread. You only need a few ingredients, and today, for the fact, we're going to use a KitchenAid mixer. You can use a home handheld mixer, but just make sure you have a dough hook. So today, the first thing we're going to do is you need to have just some warm water. And the reason you need the warm water is that that's what's going to make your yeast activated. So I have about 2 cups of water here, and I'm going to use my thermometer to make sure that my water is between 110 and 115 degrees. Right now it's showing 110, so that's perfect. You don't want it too hot because it will kill the yeast. So now I'm going to put the water in the bowl, and I'm going to put the yeast in the bowl, and it's about 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. And then what I do is I put a little sugar to just kind of activate it. I have about 1/2 cup of sugar here, 1/2 cup of oil, and about 6 cups of flour, and a teaspoon and a half of salt. We can mix it a little bit. It takes about 10 minutes, and what you're looking for on this is you're going to want to see if your yeast is alive. So basically, if you put the water too hot, it's going to kill it. If it's too cold, it's not going to work. So before you mix everything else and waste your ingredients, you want to make sure that your yeast is going to rise. That's why you're waiting. So while we're waiting, I can tell you a little bit about myself. My mother is French, my father is German, and so I learned my cooking from my mother because everything was made from scratch. She didn't use any boxes or processed foods. Everything and all our meals were made from scratch. Our pastries, our bread was made every day. And so I grew up on that kind of food. And so the reason I started my little bakery of Urban Bakery is that I missed my mother's cooking, and I missed the fresh foods that we cannot get in places. So I decided to open a bakery and share our food and our love of food with everyone else. Okay, so you kind of want to come look at this now because you can see, oh, hurry, hurry. This is good, this is good. There's the live action, you see it? So what you're looking at now is the bread, the yeast forming its bubbles. That means it's very live, and you can see the little bubbles happening as we speak. And see what's happening? It's forming the cover. And so you'll wait until the water there is all covered with that, like a film, basically. And those are the enzymes working. Okay, so the yeast is perfect. It has filmed across the bowl, and it's ready to go. So now at this moment, you'll want to put your dough hook onto the blender. And then the first thing I add is my sugar. And the reason I put my sugar in, it's a French thing, is that we want to activate the yeast even more. We're going to give it that just couple seconds. And I'm going to turn the mixer on and just kind of let it move around. And that's going to give the bread a beautiful rise. And then while the mixer's going, I'm going to add my 1/2 cup of oil. And I slowly pour it in. You don't want to just throw it in there. You want to pour it in very slowly so it can mix. And then in this bowl, of course, I have my 6 cups of French flour, and I have 1.5 teaspoons of salt. You do not want to put the salt in before anything because it will kill the yeast. So you've given your yeast time to rise. So then you're going to just gently pour your flour into the bowl. You don't want to put it all in at once because it's just too much to mix too quickly. So my mother always taught me to just slowly put it in. Okay, so now once we get all the flour in the bowl, this is an important step. It's not in a recipe, but you just have to watch the dough come together. And what you're looking for as this dough comes together, it looks really shaggy right now, but it's all going to come together and it's going to be a smooth ball. And you want it to kind of come away from the walls of the mixer. So it takes a little time. This is where you have to just kind of be patient and wait for it all to come together. So as you can see, it's picking up the flour off the side of the bowl, and it's all coming to the middle of the dough hook. Very important to use the dough hook. If you use anything else, a paddle, it's going to get all wound up in there, and you're not going to get the beautiful soft dough that you're looking for. So as it's coming together, it is mostly pulled away from the side of the bowl. And now it still is a little shaggy looking, so you're going to want to wait, and this is again the patience, but you're going to want to wait until it's nice and smooth, and it takes a little while. Don't be tempted to turn your mixer up faster. You have to just wait. So everything is pulled away from the bowl, and the dough is now in the middle, and it's becoming very smooth and nice. There are no like particles of dough on the side of the bowl, and that is what you're looking for. That's very important to make sure you get that nice, beautiful crust on your bread. It's gonna be a beautiful loaf of bread. Okay, so we're gonna stop the mixer, and what you do is you just pull your dough hook off, and then what you're gonna do is use a flour to lightly flour the surface. You're not pouring flour on here to make, a big mound of flour, just a little bit. And then you can put some on your hands because that is gonna keep the dough from sticking. We're gonna take it out. I like to get every little bit out. My mother would never let me leave anything in the bowl. And so what you're gonna do is we're just gonna basically pull the dough forward, and we're gonna make a round ball, and I kind of pull it toward me. And what we're doing is we're just trying to make a nice amount of dough, and you don't want the bottom to be open, okay? So that's what holding the dough means, or netting the dough. And so now we have a nice ball of dough ready to go to be risen. So what I do is I use a pan or just this clear tub, and you want to spray it a little bit with some kind of non-stick cooking spray just so it's not sticking. And then you're going to place it into the pan. And whatever pan you have it in, I always love to take my palm or your fist, and I like to move it around to each of the corners, whether it's a bowl or a pan, whatever, just make sure it's flat. And then what I do is I can take some painter's tape, whatever tape you want to do, but you pull a piece off. You can put the time on there because it's going to take about an hour for it to rise. And what you want to do is place the tape right at where the dough is right now. And the reason you do that is because now you can see, you want this to double in size. And so now you can see that where it started and where it's gonna go. And then we're gonna put a lid on this and just put it on the counter in a microwave or an oven that's not on, and somewhere where it's insulated, and let it rise. Okay, so now we have the tape on here, and we're gonna put the lid on. Now it's really important, you can use a cloth, but you do not want, if you have a lid, you do not want to put it down because the gas in the yeast is going to make it rise. So you just want to lay it on there, just as long as it's not on there tight. You can also use a cloth, like I said, and just let it rise for an hour and a half. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half later, and you can see where we put the tape, where the bread was, the dough was at the beginning, and now it has risen double. It's a little over double, and that is gonna make a beautiful loaf of bread. So now the next step is to take the lid off, and you can see it's beautiful dough. It's got a little mound on the top. The aroma is great. It smells yeasty. It's gonna be so beautiful. So now what we'll do is we're gonna flour our surface just a little bit. You take your hands and you just kind of throw a little bit of flour onto the surface. This can be, I use my French flour, but it can be all-purpose flour. And then we're gonna take our dough out of the container. Okay, so now I'm gonna get it all. I have a bench scraper here, and I've got 2 pan loaves and some non-stick cooking spray. So what we're gonna do now that the gases are out of the dough and it's now gonna be flat, we wanna knead it just a little bit. I pull it back and I throw it forward, and I just kind of make a nice little ball. And the reason I do that is I just want an area to cut, because basically what I'm going to do is make about 1.5 loaves out of this. And what I have is a kitchen scale, which I love to measure my bread in. So I do a 2-pound loaf, and then I'll do a 1-pound smaller loaf. So I take my bench scraper, and you don't want to saw or take a steak knife or any knives. You want to use either a bench scraper or something that you can carefully divide the dough. You don't want to just continually handling the dough. And so now I don't know how much this is. So if I need more, which I do, you'll take your bench scraper again and you're going to cut. Do not pull with your hands or pull it apart, because you want to have a nice clean cut, because the reason is that it will destroy some of the rising for your second rise. So we're going to make about a 2-pound loaf, and that's about 2 pounds right here. And then what we're going to do, since I have pieces here, we're going to knead this dough again. So we're going to pull it back toward me, push it forward, pull it back, push it forward, pull it back, and just continue that until you get a nice ball. So we have one there, but now we need to make a loaf. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit with my hands, and then I'm gonna continually and start to roll. Now you wanna roll it tight, because if you don't roll it tight, it's gonna leave air pockets on the inside and you're gonna have holes in your bread. So you wanna just roll it really tight and pull a little back towards you and tuck the ends in, and there you go. So now what we're gonna do is you always wanna spray your pan, because it will stick. And so I spray the sides and the bottom with a non-stick cooking spray. And then we're gonna place our loaf into the pan, and we're gonna let it rise the second time. I'm gonna do the same thing with this little pan I have here. And just for the record, this one's about 1 pound. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna knead the dough, pull back, push forward, and then we're gonna roll it, tuck the ends, and there it is, ready to go into the pan. Now while this is going, we're gonna put this again into a microwave, a oven that's off, something that is insulated, because it's gonna give this an enclosed area to rise. Now if you don't have any of that, you can put a nice clean cloth onto the bread and just leave it for about 30 to 45 minutes. And we want this to rise about 1 inch above the pan. Okay, so I got this out of our proofer and the bread is perfect. You see how it is about 1 inch over the rim. And so what we're gonna do now, I make a little egg wash. I use 1 egg, 1 yolk, and about a splash of cream, mix it all together, and I put it on top of the bread, and the reason is it's going to give it a beautiful shiny color. It's also gonna seal the bread so that it cooks beautiful. So you just take it and lightly go over the bread. You don't wanna push hard, because if you do, it's going to deflate the gases in here, and you don't wanna do that. And so you just get it all over the bread. Just paint it like you're gonna paint a picture. Very light strokes. Don't worry if some of it runs down in the crevices, that's fine. But you're gonna do it like that. There's this one, and be very careful with your bread. You don't want to slam it down because you don't want to deflate the bread because then it's going to be dense. Right now, this bread is going to be beautiful, light and fluffy, airy. It's going to have a yeasty flavor. This is the little loaf that we had, the 1 pound loaf, and this is your 2 pound. So now we're off to the oven. Okay, so the temperature, I have the oven on 350 degrees. For home bakers, I would suggest about 30 minutes, but I use a thermometer, and if you do use an internal thermometer, I poke a hole in the middle of the bread to get that exact doneness, and it's 190 degrees. Okay, so these are out of the oven, and they temped out at 190 degrees, which is perfect. And so look how beautiful they came out. The egg wash made it shiny. They smell delicious, and so now we're going to cut it and try it. You want to wait till your bread is cool before you slice, because if you don't, it'll be gummy. But these have been out for a while, so we're going to slice a loaf and see how beautiful the inside is. And look at that. It is beautiful, there are no holes, it's gorgeous, it's light and airy, and we're gonna share a piece with Dana here and myself.
Oh, looks beautiful, Lizzie.
And I'm gonna cut a piece and share it. There you go, Dana.
Oh, thank you so
much. Let's try it.
Let's try it.
Oh,
delicious.
Delicious.
Just like Grandma. Thank
Well,
you.
I hope you learned a lot today, and I hope that I showed you how to make and have confidence to make your first loaf of bread.
Thank you, Lizzie, so much for teaching us how to bake a loaf of bread today.
Welcome.
And today we also want to talk to Lizzie about her Senior Dog Sanctuary.
Hi, I have started a Senior Dog Sanctuary. It's named W.H. Pletch Senior Sanctuary. It's after my late father, who loved dogs, and ever since I was a little girl, I have grown up with dogs, and so since he's passed, it's a tribute to him to start our own sanctuary here at the farm. Right now we have 7 dogs that we have taken in. We hope to expand to a building so we can have 50 dogs. And these are all seniors that are 8 and above. Some of them are dogs that came from shelters that were going to be euthanized. Some came from people that have passed, and the dog has no place to go. So we take them, and this is their forever home. They stay here. They're not adopted out. And so we make it a Disney here for the dogs. To help support us, you can go to whp.org to help donate and help to support our dream and our farm and help these poor souls that need a place to go.